Hello, everybody. My name is Terry Arndt, President of Veteran Transition Publishing. With me today is Dr. Nick Osborne. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you, Terry.
So today we're here to introduce our new book, our new publication, Camouflage to Campus, Book and Field Guide. For those who are not are familiar with our organization, Veteran Transition Publishing, we started the company 5 years ago. Soon after starting the company, we released a publication called Life During College, The Veteran's Guide to Success. For those who've not read it, I encourage you to go to our site and learn more about it. With the introduction of that book, we noticed that there was a gap, in the industry. In fact, we're going to various conferences when we first introduced that publication, and the common feedback we got from people is like, "Hey, how do I start that on my campus? How do I get this going?" And as a result, we gathered a team with the help of Nick. We got some of our colleagues, Jamie Richards, Dustin Lang, Patty Starks, myself, came together, and the goal was to produce a resource. Something could answer that question of how do I start a student veteran military connected program on my campus. So 2016, we released that. It was an online course, and it's been hugely successful. What I love about our followers is that they give feedback. And it's a great part of being in this industry is that people tell us about some of the different things about it. Nick, would you mind, based on some of that feedback, some of the resources, I'm looking through some of the stuff now, this new Camouflage to Campus publication, would you mind describing it? What do we do to enhance that course, moving away from the video, now print, et cetera?
There were so many conference sessions where at the end people were waiting around and they were saying, we want to do this and we just don't know where to start, or I just got identified on my campus to be the veterans person and I'm not a veteran myself, or I was a veteran but it was years ago and I don't really know how it works in higher ed. So just from the emails and conference presentations and visits that we were getting, we realized that there wasn't just one magic bullet that would work, and that there had to be a comprehensive program. And this comprehensive program is really geared for those coordinators, directors, deans, faculty members to learn more about this population. And it's an actual blueprint for how to build an effective program. We have an award-winning program that we've put together. We've worked with a lot of colleagues who are doing a stellar job. And so we have all of this information that we've been doing in our day in, day out work. And really what the compilation is that it's taking the videos and saying that that's one layer, but now we're going to put it into a print copy. And that's what people were asking for. They were asking for videos, but they were asking for something tangible that they can share with their peers, that they can take back to their campus, that they can use working with their student veteran organization on their campus. And it's everything from like purpose, mission, and goals, how to orchestrate an orientation, how to put together a work group, a veterans committee, all of these things, assessment, faculty and staff training, all of the tangibles that we talk about over and over about creating that effective culture in that context on campus. And that's really what led to us kicking it up a notch.
Yeah. As you know, when we discussed the concept putting this together, print, providing free access to all the supplemental resources, it was kind of breaking the mold and saying, hey, why don't we do this, Terry? Why don't we put everything out there for free and then have this book available as a resource? And I have to admit, I was a little apprehensive. I was like, but why was that important to you, Nick? Why was it important to say, let's shake this up. Let's get to the resource to these people. What was the motivation for that?
I think because there's such a demand for quality work. And, as we've mentioned before, there's over 50,000 organizations and groups working on behalf of veterans. And when you and I first got together, 5 years ago, we said, look, we want to do this right. We want to be authentic and we want to incorporate students. And we want to make sure that we're not just doing this fly by night to turn a profit. Obviously we're in the business to make money, but we're more importantly in the business of educating people. We're in the business of bringing up veterans programs and enhancing them. And we're in the business of seeing that all of this great work, it spreads. And when it spreads, the direct benefit is on the student. And so there's a much larger good that's behind what we're doing.
And then, although I'm nervous, I must admit I'm super excited. I think this is the right direction, and it's taking place. So you can go to our site. You can get a copy of the book by ordering it right now it's via Amazon. It's been our distributor for that. So simply go there, click on that. But if you go to our Veteran Transition Publishing site, tons of videos, resources available. And which speaks to the next topic I wanted to cover with you, which has been your summer and fall. I mean, we've been busy cranking this stuff out. Tell me more about this new copy of Life During College. You're in a second edition.
So, it's hard to believe that over 300 schools now are using the first edition, and we're literally talking about tens of thousands of students. And it's something that's really fun for me, being at conferences and people coming up and saying, hey, we're using your book. And the success of the first edition, I think after 3 years, it was time for us to sit down and to go through it again and to say, okay, in light of what we've learned over these last 3 years, what's applicable now? And what do we want to get rid of? And an example of that is, the chapter on housing. Well, we found out from our students that on-campus housing is really not that important to a lot of military-connected students. However, career is exceptionally important. And so that led to a whole other section with multiple chapters on career. And for me, it was really taking a successful book and enhancing it with what we've learned over the last couple of years. And the other feedback that I continue to receive is that the book is being utilized in orientations. It's being utilized in transition courses for veterans. So all of these eclectic creative ways that schools are utilizing the book is really fun to learn about. And then the last point is that it's not just for the student veteran themselves, but there's so many folks that have come up or have sent emails that have said, I'm a civilian, I'm working with this group on campus. I don't really know a whole lot about them, but by going through this book, I'm learning so much more about them, and I feel much more confident in my work with them.
Good points. White paper. So this Fabulous 5 is the title of this white paper. Again, it's available on our website for free for people to download. What's the Fabulous 5? What's that all about?
So, it's what we've talked about before, Terry, is that we've been working now for almost 2 decades in higher education with military-connected students. And so, there's best practices that were talked about in 2003, 2004, and a lot of us adopted them, and they've been great. But there's also a lot of things that we've had to sit with and revisit and say, okay, is this still applicable? And so really what the Fabulous 5 is it's our way of modernizing where we're at as a profession and going back to what we still feel are the core essentials for having an effective and successful veterans program.
Okay. And then finally, more of these videos, right? So not all of them are marketing where we're promoting a new publication, but there's some great content out there that over the years that we put together. And now they're exposed from behind the site to YouTube channels, to our website, direct links. We created more. Tell us about what are you hearing? Why are we producing more of these? Grant, I know everybody loves talking and hearing us talk to each other, but what is it? What is it about these that people find intriguing?
The feedback I received is that they're short videos, they're quick, but they're concise and to the point. And because we have a strong pulse on working with our students and building programs literally from scratch and, building successful programs and surrounding ourselves with peers, that the videos are a great way for us to humanize the work and to also create a larger context. As we've mentioned before, there is no magic formula for this work. And so it's a compilation of white papers, best practices, books, materials, but then also videos and showing the different layers of how all of these pieces come together to create a cohesive whole.
All right. Awesome. As we wrap this up, I do want to mention that we're going to be attending some events. So for those that are conference oriented, we're going to the NASPA Military Connected Student Symposium coming up. the First Year Experience National Conference, as well as CCME. So feel free to, if you're attending those, definitely come see us. We're going to be speaking at those. We're doing some presentations. In addition, we're going to be having a booth so you can come by, check out the products, get us a sign it. You know, we're superstars. I'm sure everyone wants to get a selfie with us. So come by. It'd be great to connect with everybody. Nick, always great to visit with you. Publications are amazing. Anything you want to finish off the program with?
Just, you know, that this is the type of work that we're all engaged in is something that really requires us to continually learn. And that's why being out at the conferences, checking our webpage often, looking through the videos, looking at the updated materials that we've put together is so important, because this is the type of work is constantly evolving, and we want to ensure that we don't become complacent or that we get stuck in dated and you know, resources that are just no longer relevant.
Great. I appreciate your time and dedication to this area, Nick. Always a pleasure. For our audience, please continue to support us. Take a look at veterantransitionpublishing.com, and any support you can give us in watching our resources and taking advantage of those, but also purchasing our publications. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you.